Hello everyone, I'm Greycloak, thank you for joining me, and welcome back to episode 304 of Factorio with the C-Block mod, where we are basically done with our wood processing outpost. Well, it's basically a phenolic outpost at this point, but still. We probably just need to get more compost in. Actually, we still have some, but it's going to be a little bit slow on that front. And that's fine. We are just building up phenolic ores now. And the purpose, of course, of those is mainly to make red circuits. So that will be our next goal. Except that we need transistors for that, and we haven't made those yet. So yeah. Let's just clean up a bit here. This is not needed. And this needs to go on top. And the rest is probably needed. Okay. So these, we need silicon. We already have that done. Silver wire, we need to make silver first then. It would be nice if we could just get silver wire coil. So we don't have to make it locally. Other than just this part. And plastic we have. So we need silver on top. We want to make... Wait, can't we do silver coil yet? Should be able to. Oh, of course it's not made directly from silver plate, it's made from molten silver. I don't think we want to use cooling. $70 molten silver, 70 molten copper becomes 8 coil. So we save 1 in 8 molten stuff. So what, 12.5% increased in productivity? Also, it is a lot faster. 2 seconds for 8 as opposed to 4 seconds for 4. That's 4 times the speed. But then we need to make coolant, and we need to cool down coolant. I don't want to deal with that, to be honest. So we're just doing this. And silver plate is still needed, right? For other things like this, this. Yes, very much so. Could also just make silver wire directly. Can't do that in here, oh well. But this is just so much more dense, so I like that. It is one more processing step on the other end with cutting it up. And we do need to melt molten copper. So we need copper ingots. I don't think we're exporting those from anywhere. Not here, at least. We could make that locally, but this is already a little bit of an advanced thing. Copper by itself is simple. That's not really a problem. It's getting it right next to the silver that's a problem. Can you bottle up molten stuff? No, that wouldn't make any sense anyway. How about we start with a setup that just makes silver plate, and then we make a setup that makes molten silver, and a setup that makes molten copper, and mixes those into coil. So for starters, we ignore this. And then when we have developed this, we can just remove these, and then we have molten silver. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. At least we only need purified water for this, so that's nice. No chemicals involved. We should get an outpost for this, and we're just gonna put it here, I guess. What better place than right here? We don't need a lot of space for this. The silver base itself could need some space, maybe. But we'll manage, I'm sure. Yeah, we need to clear this out first. And we're probably gonna need more ammo as well, because we need to go quite far up here. Out of landfill, so when we go get more ammo, we can get landfill as well. Just need a good amount of landfill here, so let's just fill up. Anything we should get rid of here, yes. That's probably good. We have a lot of power boats, but we need a lot of those soon. So we are going to have to design a new build from the ground up, I think. Because I made some assumptions about how much I could speed it up with beacons, and I believe I've debunked those assumptions afterwards. At least we should double and triple check that. Oh, let's just start working on that now. And I'm just gonna put a new thing here, because we're gonna compare it with our iron production. I believe we made this with 180 iron in mind. No, not from that. From this. And are we doing this? We're not. And we don't want to. This is what we have planned everything for anyway. So we need a 60 of each of these. And these are the numbers we have been trying to do all the time. Of course, not with 480 of these, but with a lot less. $120. That's still a bunch. So that is actually correctly planned, I think, because that's just 1/4, and we should be able to get them to 4 times the speed. Right. I'm just gonna take one of these. Just gonna work on this right here. Whoops. And let's power it up. Okay. Let's actually upgrade to higher tier electrolyzers. So that's what I planned everything for. To purple. Yes, that is what is in here, right? Yes. And we have 120 of those here. Oh, 60, my bad. Because we need 2 different types of resources. Which we are doing side by side all the time, yes. We will have 120 in total if we actually make everything we need. Let's just get that in, so I'm not confused about it. 120, yes. They have a crafting speed of 2.5. Eventually we want that to be at least 10. Don't really have a lot of space to achieve that. They're close to 10, some of them. These are of course preventing some of that. And that. And that. So now they have an average of around 10. That should be fine. Problem is we still need the logistics zone extenders and charging. We could add space in between these setups for that sort of stuff. Here instead. Because we do not really have a lot of space in here for anything like that. Otherwise we just cut it and extend it a bit every now and then. That could also work. Just want to check our water requirements as well, because we obviously did some engineering to get that to work. 30,000 per second. We're doing that from we're supposed to have a offshore pump here. Do we have some water thing? Yeah. It actually fits right next to a belt. Right. We just can't fit these right next to each other, but we can fit everything else right next to it. Okay, I didn't actually know that. Good to know. So we have to place the water down, if we want this here at least. But I guess we don't want that there then. Because this space is taken up by water then, that's fine. We have 4, 8, 16, 32 offshore pumps. And they each pump around 1200 per second, so that is more than this. We divide that 30,000 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. 15, 7.5. 37.5 or 3,750 water per second needs to go through each of these, I believe. Should be possible with standard pumps. So yeah, we have made it what I consider a pretty good way. I'm pretty happy with that still. It's just weird to have the water in the middle, but it makes sense. But of course also just barrel up water and put it everywhere, but that's stupid. I am okay with this. So if we again need to fit these in, this is all water. Can I have one of these here? But we do not have the space for them anywhere else, other than all the way at the top at least. And those are pretty close to actually reach each other. If we did higher tier of these, can those reach each other? Do these cost? I don't even know, and I'm not sure I want to know. They already reach. Holy Christ, that's big. Is that just twice the size? Yep. That's pretty awesome. How does that compare to the robopods we are currently using? It's bigger than that, okay. It's obviously not bigger than the big robopod, but nothing really is. It's not bigger than this either. So if we maybe try to make something work without the highest tier zone expansion things, this would work fine with these. Yes. How about the ones that we actually use? They do not connect. And also just upgrade this. Reaches. And will this also work down here somewhere? Not really. As it is right now, at least. You're not supposed to be here. So with purple ones we can do that. If we need purple ones anyway. Swear. Expensive are these? Roboport antenna array 3 from in here. It's not something we can't do, it's just processing units, which are expensive. And we need something else as well. Oh, just the tier. Okay, never mind. We're probably already making this, I think. Making these, and we have room for the next tier as well, it seems. Where are the zone expanders themselves? It's too dark in here. There's roboports. Oh, here. We're not making the next tier, but we could. And for something like this, I think that would be okay. It's not like we need hundreds of the zone expanders for one of these setups. And that just allows us to actually have this in the empty spaces here. Or we could just move them apart. Am I being stupid? Could we just have the extra 2 tiles in between? It's not a lot of space. Then we can use whatever, and we have a lot of space for charging as well. Not that we need a lot of charging. That's probably just better, to be honest. Let's do that. Good. So this build is mainly still good. And just to make sure, we will be able to connect to other builds with this, yes. We have been making some changes to this setup regarding sulfuric acid. We barreled it up, we barreled this up. We should probably barrel up oxygen as well, if possible. And we should probably have storage of this stuff, because we do seem to have problems. So I do want to just modify this to something new and greater. Something that works. I'm a bit annoyed that the barrels will have to be all the way up here, but does that matter too much? We could run the pipes down here instead, since we now have that extra space. Is this one of... do we have one of the original setups? Yes, I think. Upgraded everything. So, are these modulable? These are, okay. Those are not. Nope, 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 nope. If we keep this in mind, we could probably get away with even fewer, even less production. Shouldn't we consider that? Also for now, I just want this. Here. And I just want to check. We're making 300 of this per second on 4 belts. That is obviously not going to work. But we wanted to upgrade the belts at some point. Four belts. 300 divided by 4 is 75. We need green belt for that. I guess that's okay. At some point. If we did that, it should also be able to go all the way. Yes. So we would actually have more space for beacons. If we needed that for any reason. But we're just gonna keep this for now. I think that does mean we're not really outputting a lot still, even if we optimize it and beacon it. Are we making green stuff? I don't think so. I don't think we even have it. No. Can we get purple stuff though? We're not making that yet either. But that would double our speed, so that is an okay thing to consider. Purple belt for this. This is still just 2 red belts, so that's fine for each. We have that. Okay. So now that we have everything here, let's make some room for either barreling or piping stuff. Actually, we do not get a lot of throughput on the pipes if we pipe them all the way down. Unless we do pumps, and preferably storage tanks in between. I am gonna make some space here. We will move it back up at some point. Just need some space to work with. This is oxygen, hydrogen, they continue. I'll just connect these for now though, just to keep it simple and obvious what is going on. I think, first of all, I will be adding just tiny bits of storage for this. And that should be good. I also want storage for purified water. Maybe both here and down here. But there's no reason to store it here, right? I don't think so. Should we do it anyway? Nah. This gets rid of all of this, that's fine. Same thing here. If we move these out one tile, we could have more space for these if we need it. We might have already calculated everything. So we want sulfuric acid to go down. We want hydrogen and oxygen to go down. And that should be it, right? Could also fit some stuff in here. I would remove some of these. It's just that we can't have 3 pipes in here between them. We could of course run 1 pipe in here, 2 here, 1 for that, 2 here. If we didn't want to combine them. Sort of do want to combine. But then again, if I do this, I'm not going to combine the outputs anyway. So, yeah. This will be hydrogen and oxygen. Is that stupid in any way? And then we can have sulfuric acid in here. Which again needs some more space. Okay. Maybe we don't actually need the space up here because we want these to be prioritized over outputting anyway. Maybe we need the space down here. Also, we are obviously not going to get very much hydrogen down compared to how much we're burning. But is that actually a problem? If we really need those bottles, didn't we do that somewhere? This is not new, right? No, this is not something that uses that, no. Yeah, I think we might use stuff. No, no hydrogen. Did we need the hydrogen? Yeah. And it's pretty small amounts, I think. We are just gonna bottle it up here. I'm gonna do the simple thing rather than the most efficient thing that is more complex. Which also means these goes. I'm just gonna make sure that all of these are actually to the same standard here. We also want to do... Wait, we haven't done the sulfur stuff here. I guess we didn't actually do that in the first setup. But we want to do that with a requested chest in it and a provider chest. Let's try and keep focus here. we will just go and look at how we have done this earlier. So this is just the hydrogen we're doing. We should do oxygen as well, I'm pretty sure, as some places might need that. Guess we'll just add more space here. One for hydrogen, one for oxygen. Both sides. Yes. You're just gonna make sure that we have enough space and we can pull it closer afterwards. We should probably still have overflow valves in here, right? Then they fight with these about getting stuff. We need the oxygen to actually go in here before we barrel it. We could hook that up to tank that it takes or gets stuff from. So measure how much oxygen we have and only input if we actually have enough input barrels or output barrels or bottles. I think that will work just fine. So let's do hydrogen. Bottle of hydrogen. West bottles. Take from here. Just put this here to not waste space, basically. Oxygen filling. Good. And then we can wire stuff up. If I can find the wire. So let's just limit the output. If we have is it this one? I guess so. More than 50. I have 200 or 2500 in there, right? So if we have more than 1500 here. I just want to make sure that we can have 2500, so let's grab one of those. Shouldn't it say? Maybe it doesn't. It says here 2500, yes. So we will overflow when we get more than 2000. We will bottle it up when we get more than 1500. That should be fine. And we're gonna do 400 here. Over here as well. And here. And this is far away. So couldn't we just connect those and those? I think that's a little bit less ugly. Maybe. It's not great, but it's better than the alternative. Goes for this as well, yes. And this looks at oxygen 1500. If we have more than, by the way, we need to make sure about that. Same thing for these. Higher than 1500. Higher than 1500. Higher than, good. Then we have those built up. Then it's the sulfuric acid. This should work fine still. Maybe we actually pull all of this up as well. As well. The same sort of limits, right? We're trying to prioritize that this whole setup can keep running rather than we can export a bit of hydrogen or liquid sulfuric acid and then everything will stop. That's why we're trying to put these limits in. Something like that. So, Rick. Acid canister. 400. Sulfuric acid. More than 1500. Good. We are just gonna copy paste this over here when we are done, I think. Because there's no difference so far. So far, so good. This needs to go there. We will use more of these, I think. Just to keep things as simple as possible. Clean. And is that it for this then? Of course. Didn't we have a power supply? Why are they not happy then? Wait, oh, we are just not connected all the way, I guess. This is connected. Should be connected. Am I just being stupid? We have plenty of power. I'm not sure I understand the problem here. You just don't want to be helped for some reason. Never mind. We are topping up here, yes, because we need to make sure that we use the purified one from here first of all. This should be right. Boric acid should be fine here. Good. Then we need the sulfur in here. We need to get it from this one. I think we're going to move this out here. Those line up, yes. And we're doing that because then we can use some of this space for our inserters and stuff. Should we just pull everything up as close as possible? I think so. So, first of all, we need to be able to request the sulfur to here, so we can scale everything a little bit more easily. Put it all the way there. Okay. Just gonna shorten this a little bit more, just so it doesn't seem as awkward. Actually, even more. Because this needs to output into a provider chest. Yes, this would be fine. It's not really that big of a deal. This being unpowered is a big deal though. Something like this maybe? This request stuff, it doesn't need to request that much. There's no reason for us to have a bunch of this store. Just need enough for it to start running. This should still keep up to a stack here, and that should transfer more than 10 there, so we shouldn't activate our robots really. If all goes well. And we should be able to mirror that. No, we don't. But mostly. Something like that. But then we're again not powered. Dang it. Power, sure. I think this is a good thing and an improvement in general. I hope so. Also, did I move? What happened here? Why is that there? I wanted to move that and that. So then we can potentially put in another one of these if we wanted to. Which is not a problem. Oh, that would have been awesome if we could reach that. This reaches, that reaches, reach. Yes. Good. Okay. We are pretty far here. I'm just gonna cut this part because we need to redo it anyway. And we need to do more stuff. Gonna make some space here. Because unfortunately, that's all we have time for in this episode. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.